Jefferson, Questlove. So here's how this works. I'm going to start sing a short, made-up song, and you're going to give me a critical interpretation of the lyrics to my song. Sound good?
Okay, yes.
There we go.
Boy meets girl, they fall in love, they buy a house, then they buy a horse, and that's when things get tricky.
That's beautiful. So, house and horse, right? We're all thinking, wow, house, horse. Why did he put those lyrics in? Why those words? You think, oh, it's because they're H words. No, it's not as simple as that. Because to some people, a house is a horse. You know what I mean? There are people who...
Like the Revenant or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But think of the word horse. I think what you're saying is, you think of it as an acronym, horse. You know, the beginning, so it'd be like, hey, over... Really? So... Everybody. So...
You thought I meant, hey, over?
Yeah.
Really? So, everybody.
Everybody. So that's like, you know when you say that when you're in front of your house? It's that kind of thing.
That's
it's like
100% correct.
Yes, yeah.
That's correct. That is good. Would you like to try? You do a song, and I'll try to see if I have the same talent that you have.
Okay.
I'll try to interpret the lyrics.
Check, check. This is not part of the song. Check. Check, check, check.
Is it really not part
Two,
of the
two, two, two. Two, 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 two. There were 23 cousins. 23 cousins, and all of them had a crew cut. A crew cut. And the daisies, they fall like rain. Like grain. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
I do know this. This is what I think you mean by this. It was a family reunion.
Yeah.
And one of the younger cousins started his own haircutting business, like a Supercuts.
This is great, yes?
And they said, well, what styles can you do, Jasper? And I know you didn't get up to those lyrics yet, but and he said, I can do a crew cut, I guess. And they go, oh, show it to me. And he did it. It was so cool that the second cousin came up.
Yeah.
He said, what styles can you do, Jasper? I said, I can do a crew cut. And he did it. And it was so cool.
Yeah.
And the third cousin, thank you.
That's exactly right.
If it was raining, it would be not good. I got the first half of the song right. I got the first half.
You got it so right. You have a real talent for this.
No, I got the. Let me try, because I didn't get it as good as you did.
Okay.
Let me try one more. If I can do one more. If I hear a duck quack, that means we can.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, good. So I'll do one more song, and then here we go.
There's a little boy threw a coin in the fountain. There's a little boy, then he lives on the mountain. There's a little boy, he says he likes counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I know what this is.
You do, yeah.
Is the little boy Warren Beatty? Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you see where I'm already.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the coin round. That's like a film canister. Those are his films. So he's getting the films, and he's the fountain in L.A. That's like a street there. So he's in Hollywood. He's giving it to the studios. He wants it transferred to DVD. He wants his films transferred to DVD. I don't know if I'm right.
Yes, you're definitely right. Well, I was correct. You have an unbelievable talent.
Yeah. But I've been working on accents. I'm an expert at accents, and I've been working on the United States in general.
Oh, this is great.
So I've been doing the southern states, you know, like Alabama and Louisiana and Texas. I could do any city. I could do any region, anywhere in the South now. So if you name a part of the South, I can do it.
Oh my gosh. We'll do Louisiana. I'd love to hear that.
Louisiana's here. That's more here. Louisiana, that's got a kind of rounded. It's got a kind of round, there's something kind of regal about it. Louisiana. Where else?
Let me switch it up for you. Arkansas.
Arkansas, that's got kind of a more percussive. Arkansas is kind of, it pulls back after the consonant. So Arkansas. It's a very, thank you. They're very percussive.
Based on.
Yeah.
No.
Expert. To the town. To the town.
Based
to
on anything, to a part of the town.
Of this. Now, Tennessee's got that, they're thinking. Tennessee's got a thought. They're thinking about it. They're thinking about it. They're thinking.
Stop saying they're thinking
They're thinking about it. Louisiana's a rounder.
No.
Tennessee's are thinking. Louisiana, Tennessee. They're thinking.
These are amazing.
Thank you very much. Here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
This is something I'd like to try.
All right, this is what I'm talking about.
So what I want to do is, I want to give examples of strumming styles. But this is going to be like strumming styles of punk and alternative music from 1970 to 2000. This is a sort of truncated version of like how people played the guitar. So we'll start with 1970, and there were fewer like solos and stuff like that. It was a little more, had more like rhythm to it and percussion. So it would like something like Velvet Underground was kind of like going down the boulevard with the flower. That kind of thing, right? So then like mid 70s, there was like stuff like the Ramones and like stuff at CBGB's. It was like very driving, like. I just wanna watch TV. My baby's giving me a lobotomy. That kind of thing. But then in
Going down the boulevard with a flower.
and then in England, like 1977, same kind of thing, but like a little more angular and sort of like. Don't go to the ambulance. Don't go to the ambulance. Don't go to the ambulance.
Don't run on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that
fantastic.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Then like 1980, like post-punk, they sort of like didn't do chords that much at all. It was a little bit more like. I am a neon light.
I am a neon light. I am the neon light. Yeah, it's great. Love that.
Then early 80s, there was like a sort of like country music feel to like punk. It was kind of like.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And then there was like a sort of mid 80s, late 80s, like Sonic Youth would do this thing where like the chords would be like a little discordant. So it'd be like. Candlelight on a boot.
Yeah. Wow, that's exactly right. Yeah, I remember that.
And then, do you remember like the early 90s, like a little ska thing happening? Like, and very playful, kind of like.
Yeah.
Your mom and dad were the best you ever had. Yeah. That kind of thing. And then Seattle, Pacific Northwest, they did a lot of octaves, like kind of like halftime, like. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like Sleater Kinney would be like more single notes. Don't go so slow. Out of control.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I love that.
And then like 2000, things got very melodic, a lot of clear chords, like crooning, a lot of like happy singing, you know, like, come out with me again.
Oh, remember that?
I'd like to take you to the stratosphere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, kind of like Strokes.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
I'm working on some impressions of accents through the decades.
God, let's go back to 1900s.
So 1900s, the manufacturer and the farmer, there's a sort of, people thought it was very British, but it's actually very Dutch and German. The manufacturer and the farmer, and then in the 20s, they start getting very aware of the microphone, and then it sort of opens up in the 30s. Quiet now, quiet now, quiet. And then the 50s, it starts to flatten out a little bit. The 50s, they're kind of, it starts to, I'd like to, on a Friday night, I'd like to read a book on a Friday night. There's the 50s. The 60s diverges a little bit, where there's an official sort of in the news hour, and then, and then the sort of people in interviews looked like they were in shock. Everyone was sort of like, yeah, wow. We want the universe to know a spiritual awakening. Yeah. And then the 70s, it was kind of a whisper. The 70s has a whisper to it. The 70s, there's a sort of confusion as to what's good. There's a whisper. And then the 90s is very kind of laid, wow. The 90s laid back. Yay, very sarcastic and ironic. Wow. And then the 2000s, you start to hear the vocal fry. The guys are in a meeting, and you could sort of hear that throughout when they're talking on a conference call. You can hear this sort of, that's it.
Oh my God, that is absolutely.
So the first impression I'm going to do is an Instagram drummer. Like, for some reason on my feed, I get these videos of drummers who like to do close-ups of their kit. And there's a lot of gimmicks and stuff on their drums. So every time, so Instagram's a little bit like. When I was a teenager, I think a lot of I'm just gonna do drumming through different ages. And I think teenagers tend to lean in on fills instead of the beat. That was the regular beat. So I used to play kind of barely doing a beat, That was teenage drumming, yeah. Really struggling with it. Then in my 20s, I was in this band, and we played really frenetic, fast music, and I just feel like I was just out to prove that I could play quickly with a lot of changes, that kind of thing, just really, really busy. That's in my 20s. And then in my 30s, less toms, less fills, but lots of cymbals to make up for it. So thanks. Then in my 40s, no cymbals, hi-hat very closed, and really leaning in on the kick drum. So this is 40s. That's 40s drumming. Yeah, thanks. And so now in my 50s, and this is the truth. This is the groove I most like to play. This is the volume I like. I'm most comfortable doing this. And thanks. It's really, I love that. I love that feel. So I think with that trajectory, as I go into my 60s and 70s, I think my drumming style is going to be this.